Justin Gaethje demands title shot or big payday. UFC must decide. Justin Gaethje, known to fans as the Highlight, has always lived up to the nickname. A relentless force in the UFC lightweight division, Gaethje has built a reputation as one of the most violent, entertaining, and all-action fighters in the sport's modern era. He doesn't just win, he does it in a way that makes fans jump out of their seats. But now, after years of delivering jaw-dropping wars and bonus-worthy brawls, Gaethje is drawing a line in the sand. And he's doing it loud and clear. Give him a title shot, or pay him like the headliner he's become. This isn't just another contract complaint. It's an ultimatum from a fighter who has consistently put his body, legacy, and pride on the line. In a recent interview, Gaethje said what many top-level fighters only hint at. "I've never said no to a fight, but I'm not showing up for wars unless they mean something." Since delivering that barn burner of a fight with Rafael Fiziev at UFC 313, Gaethje has waited, patiently, respectfully, but now, assertively. He wants either the gold or the green, and truthfully, he's earned the right to ask for both. When you look at Gaethje's body of work in the UFC, it's hard not to be impressed. Knockouts of Dustin Poirier and Edson Barboza, a war with Michael Chandler that's considered one of the greatest fights in lightweight history, a brutal dismantling of Tony Ferguson during the height of the pandemic that earned him the interim lightweight belt. He's won performance bonuses in nearly every outing. In fact, Gaethje has racked up 11 UFC bonuses, 6 for Fight of the Night, 5 for performance. No boring fights, not one. Whether he's facing a striker, a grappler, or another brawler, Gaethje brings violence in a way that few fighters can. And that's exactly why his ultimatum carries weight. He's not just a contender in the rankings, he's a business asset, a name that sells tickets, a guarantee that, win or lose, fans are getting something unforgettable. In a division as competitive and crowded as lightweight, star power matters. And Gaethje's got more of it than most of the names ahead of him. But the division in 2025? It's as stacked and chaotic as it's ever been. Arman Tsarukyan has emerged as a technical beast, recently edging Charles Oliveira by a close but convincing decision at UFC 300. Tsarukyan's combination of cardio, wrestling, and striking has made him the likely next challenger for the lightweight crown. Oliveira, meanwhile, bounced back at UFC 309 with a dominant decision win over Michael Chandler, a fight that put Du Bronx firmly back into title contention. Then there's the wild card, Ilia Topuria, the undefeated Spanish-Georgian phenom who previously held the featherweight title has officially moved up to 155.
So, where does all of this leave Gaethje? Not first in line, at least not technically. But when it comes to name value, experience, and sheer excitement, few, if any, are more valuable than him. And that's where things start to get interesting. Because what Gaethje brings to the table isn't just fighting ability. It's fire. It's chaos. It's the kind of presence that makes a co-main feel like a main, and makes a pay-per-view feel like a can't-miss event. Which brings us to the potential blockbuster, Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. It's the kind of matchup that feels inevitable. BMF belt on the line, one of the most violent brawlers in the sport, against one of the slickest undefeated fighters rising up the ranks. Gaethje's American grit and raw power versus Topuria's Spanish sniper precision. If Topuria wins the lightweight belt in his debut at 155, a matchup with Gaethje becomes not just logical, it becomes essential. It's a storyline built for highlight reels and promos. But even if Topuria comes up short, it's still a 5-round fight worth headlining any card around the world. The beauty of Gaethje's current position is that he doesn't need a belt to bring value. He is the value. That's the message behind his recent statements, that after years of taking high-risk fights for modest pay, he now demands what he's earned. Not just respect, but compensation. Not just title opportunities, but legacy-defining matchups. Fans know what they're getting when Gaethje walks to the cage. Every punch, every exchange, every second inside that octagon is soaked in risk. There are no safe Gaethje fights. No point fighting, no coasting.
And when a fighter like that starts to draw boundaries, it matters. Because Gaethje has never been the guy to play politics. He's taken short notice fights, he's stepped up against monsters, he's fought when others backed out. Now, he's simply asking the UFC to recognize the blood he's left on the canvas and pay him accordingly. Beyond Topuria, other possible matchups still hold weight. A rematch with Charles Oliveira could be a redemption arc for Gaethje, who was submitted by the Brazilian in their first meeting. A showdown with Arman Tsarukyan would be a test of youth versus experience, a stylistic clash between Gaethje's raw violence and Arman's calculated technique. And of course, the dangling possibility of Conor McGregor, should the Irish star return again. Gaethje versus McGregor would be an all-time banger, and one of the few fights that could eclipse even a title shot in hype and pay. Whatever comes next, Gaethje's future is clear. It's big, and he knows it. Whether it's a belt, a BMF title defense, or just a war with another top 5 killer, he's not doing this for free anymore. He's doing it for legacy, and for the kind of respect that can only come when the business side finally matches the fight resume.
The UFC now faces a choice.
Do they give Gaethje the title shot he believes he's earned? Or do they risk letting one of the most fan-beloved fighters on the roster feel like he's being overlooked? Again. One thing's for sure, fans are watching, social media is buzzing, the MMA community knows what's at stake, and Gaethje, he's staying ready. He's not a man who asks for much, but he's also not a man who settles. Every punch he's thrown, every war he's waged, it's all led to this moment. The next chapter of his career could be the most important yet. Whether it's Topuria, Oliveira, Tsarukyan, or someone else entirely, one truth remains. When Gaethje steps into that cage, we're getting a fight. And now maybe we're finally getting a legacy. So now we ask you, what's the one fight that defines Justin Gaethje's future? Is it Topuria, Oliveira, another shot at the undisputed title? Drop your picks in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe for all things combat sports, and stay tuned because the next war is always just one press conference away. This isn't just about rankings anymore. This is about value, about legacy, about fire. And if anyone has earned the right to demand more, it's Justin Gaethje. Whatever comes next, Gaethje's future is clear. It's big, and he knows it. Whether it's a belt, a BMF title defense, or just a war with another top 5 killer, he's not doing this for free anymore. He's doing it for legacy and for the kind of respect that can only come when the business side finally matches the fight resume.